my gosh, here we are today. I'm so excited to be with you today on Becoming Unstoppable. It's tea time. I'm here every Tuesday at 10 a.m. And today we are talking about mastering our mindset. And I'm going to share with you a strategy that you will use this to control your mind. Who wants to have more control of their thoughts, more control of their mind? And this is the question that I have for us today. Have you ever stopped to consider whether your thoughts are running the show or if you are the one in control? Have you just ever stopped to think about that? If we're honest, most of us have not. We don't think about what we're thinking about. We're not intentional about what is on our mind. But here's the thing that I need you to know: your thoughts create your reality. And so, this is a really important question on why this is important for us to understand it because it controls our lives. And here's the thing that I want you to remember, and I want to share this with you, that if you think better, you can live a better life. So think better, live better. This is why mastering your mindset is so important, because once you understand and remember that your thoughts control and create your reality, you'll want to start thinking better so that you can live better and you can accomplish those things that you desire, those big, hairy, audacious goals that you dream about. You can do it when you start to take control of your thoughts so that your thoughts are not running the show, in other words, your life, but that you're running your life. And so that's what we're going to talk about today on Becoming Unstoppable Tea with Coach Natalie. For those of you who I've just met, welcome. I'm here every Tuesday at 10 a.m. And I have the wonderful job, the best job in the world, in fact, because I get to help men and women in their fifth decade get unstuck, become unstoppable, and master their lives so that they can thrive in their 50s and beyond. And here's the thing: if you're not in your fifth decade, that is perfectly okay. Maybe you're in your third and fourth decade. This information is still very important to you because you want to be successful as you head towards your fifth decade, right? Or maybe you're on the other side in your sixth or seventh decade. That's absolutely fine because it's about thriving in your 50s and beyond. And I'm a firm believer that if you are a student of lifelong learning and you are here, vibrant, alive, then there's always something for you to learn. And so I'm so grateful that you're here. If you want to join us every Tuesday, click the subscribe button, set the alarm so that you get notifications of when I go live. So let's jump in. In fact, let me take a sip of my hot water today. It always calms me down. That's what the cup says, calm. Mm, this is so wonderful. Very calming. Go get your hot beverage and let's jump in for the next few minutes talking about controlling our thoughts. And I want to start with why this is important. I've already said that, you know, our thoughts control our lives. That's key. But if you find yourself experience any of these things that I'm going to share with you, then you'll understand even more why it's important to you personally. So I wrote down some pain points, some things that we may be experiencing in our lives, and I want to share it with you and see where it resonates with you, or fill in the blank as you're listening to this about how you're feeling and why it's so important for you to take control of your mind. So you could be feeling lost or unfulfilled, questioning your life's purpose, questioning the direction of where you're going, and experiencing a sense of stagnation or even dissatisfaction, right? That's what causes us to feel stuck. We are not certain on how to take the next step to move forward. Or maybe your health related issues, dealing with, chronic conditions or a diagnosis for yourself or a loved one that you aren't quite sure how to handle, and it's causing you to feel some worry and some anxiety. What about transitioning for your career? A lot of the clients I work with are finding themselves in a new era where they've lost their job. They've been bought out. They found out that their services are no longer needed. And so now they have to reinvent themselves and start over. And that is a very uncomfortable place to be in. Or what about our relationships? Managing conflicts in relationships and communication, or a space for healing. Maybe someone's hurt us or we've hurt them and we're having to reconcile or have that spirit of forgiveness. And then what about stress around money? Does anybody have any stress around money? Right? Where you're having, maybe you're in your fifth decade and you're having to plan about retirement, or maybe you want to buy a second home, a summer home, a vacation home, or maybe it's just about paying off some credit card debts. We all have issues that we're dealing with. And here's the thing that I want you to understand: everything that I just listed starts with a thought, it starts in our mind. When we have feelings of frustration, fear, worry, doubt, or anxiety, or lack of self confidence, this all starts in our mind with the story that we're telling ourselves, with how we're allowing our perceptions or limited beliefs to take control of our lives. And it's creating a dis-ease and a very uncomfortable, negative, spiritual, emotional sense in our body. And it starts with our thoughts. And so we have to learn how to take control of our thoughts so that we change the direction of our lives and that we start to feel empowered about the possibilities versus disempowered about our problems. And so that's why this conversation is so important. And it's part of what I call the fifth decade mastery, mastering your mindset. Because what I understand, what I know from my personal life, from what I've read, from what I teach my clients, that if you can master this, your mindset, take control of it, you can take control of your entire life. Your entire life. And so today I want to talk to you. I want you to lean in. I want you to listen, because the strategy that I'm going to teach you is very simple. And once you do it repeatedly, it will become a habit and you will be able to take control of your thoughts and to take control of your mind and then take control of your life. Now, I want to start with a scripture because I believe that the scriptures, uh, the Bible is our playbook, and it's full of spiritual principles and laws and instructions that we can use to master our lives. It's not related to a religion, even though some people think it is. I look at it as a universal book of language from our Father, the creator of heaven and earth, that he gave us instructions, clear instructions, that when we follow it, life works better for us. And I want to share with you a scripture text in 2 Corinthians 10, verse 5. And I'm reading from the English Standard Version. And in this chapter, 2 Corinthians 10, Paul is defending his ministry. And he is saying that, hey, I'm not going to have to deal with all these arguments, these debates, these philosophical debates. I don't have time for that. Let's just start with taking control of our thoughts. That's basically what he's saying. And I'm going to read this scripture to you because I want you to understand the principle behind it. That's why the scriptures in the playbook is so important, because it provides you spiritual principles and laws that you can apply to your life, regardless of what your religion is. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about making the Bible, the scriptures, one of your go-to playbook, in fact, the playbook for life. So here's the scripture, verse 5. It says, we destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God, and take every thought captive to obey the Messiah. So this is a principle that says there are things that I'm not going to even debate. I'm going to take that I'm going to take that captive. I'm going to break it down because it's coming up against the knowledge of my Father, the Creator. And I'm going to take every thought captive. So I'm not going to allow just any old thought run rampant in my mind. I'm not going to allow that. I'm going to take it captive. That, my friend, is a principle that you can apply to taking control of your mind. You don't have to entertain every thought that comes into your mind. You are to be the gatekeeper of what you allow to come into your mind and take captive your thoughts. And you want to make it obedient to the Messiah so that you live a life that honors the Father. But you also want to make it obedient to the vision that you have for your life, the goals that you want to achieve, the next level that you want to take your life to. You see, this principle that's in this scripture text is saying that we have the power and the authority to take control of our minds. Now, here's the long awaited strategy. Because I've shared with you the scripture, let me now share with you a strategy. And this strategy I am going to call mind. Use this to control your mind. Mind is a mnemonic for you to remember very quickly the four key points of this strategy. Number one is to be mindful of your thoughts. That's right. Be mindful. Going back to the scripture I just shared, pay attention to what you think about. Pay attention to what comes into your mind, what you allow. And when you become aware of what you're thinking about, you can definitely take control of your thoughts. So pay attention to what you allow into your mind. And then the second letter, intentional. Be intentional about focusing on your priorities. Most times by default, we're focusing on our problems instead of priorities. We are being reactive instead of proactive. So proactively decide what you're going to focus on for that day. And it should be your priorities. What's important to you? By the end of the day, what would you like to accomplish? Now, for me personally, I do an intentions list every single day, and I write down my top three, sometimes five intentions, and I use it. I wish I had a copy of it. I'm looking around for it. I use it every single day to then check off. Yeah, did I do that? Did I do that? And it's about being intentional about how I want to show up. What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to achieve by the end of the day? Who do I want to have served by the end of the day? It's about being intentional about focusing on your priorities versus focusing on your problems. And the letter N is really important. It's about navigating your emotions because, see, our thoughts influence our emotions. Our emotions influence our actions and the words that we speak. And our emotions, y'all, that's what gets us stuck. We get stuck in fear. And I talk about fear a lot because I was stuck in fear. Or we get stuck in worry, frustration, doubt. We get stuck in thinking that I can't do something. I can't have something. I can't. I always call it the terrible cases of the can'ts, right? When you think you can't do something, it causes you to feel discouraged, overwhelmed, frustrated. And then you have the emotions of fear and anger, even doubt or frustration, right? So we want to navigate the emotions. And it's the same thing with our thoughts. Take control of them. Find out, why are you feeling a particular way? Why are you responding a particular way? What's coming up in you physically so that you can now address it? Because you can't address something that you're not aware of. So you want to learn how to navigate your emotions. And then the D is really, really important. Destroy the doubts that get you stuck. It's going back to the terrible can'ts. I can't do this. I can't have this. I don't know how to do this. I can't. That leads to doubt. Doubt leads to discouragement. Discouragement leads to defeat. And before you know it, you've given up on your dreams. I call it the deadly D's. So you got to destroy those doubts by doing the thing that you are afraid of doing, by doing the thing that you say you cannot do. And that is where the rubber meets the road, because you can be mindful about your thoughts. You can be intentional about what you're going to do. You can navigate the emotions, but you can also get stuck in doubt and never move forward. And when you get stuck in doubt, it's because you're not doing. You're in your head thinking about all the things that are going wrong or things that you cannot do. But when you start doing and taking action, this is how you go from being stuck to unstuck and becoming unstoppable. And I am a firm believer that there isn't anything that you cannot do, that there isn't anything that you cannot overcome. Because, see, our Father, the creator of the universe, he created us in his image. And he allows us the authority or gives us the ability and the authority to take control of our lives. And the first thing we have to do is take control of our mind. Because when we take control of our mind, we take control of every other area of our lives. And so I hope that this strategy was helpful to you, the mind. Mnemonics to help you remember the strategy, the 4 steps. And if you put this into action, I guarantee you, you will see results because I'm speaking from experience, y'all. I'm not speaking from something that I've researched. I've researched it too, but then I put it into practice. And that's what I'm sharing with you, what I practice every single day and what I share with my clients. Because my job, the best job ever, is to help you get unstuck. And when you take control of your mind, and put this strategy in place, you will get unstuck. Now, I asked for you to wait until the end. I'm so grateful. Hey, I'm so glad you joined. I love when somebody joins me. Glad to have you. And I'm here every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Set an alarm so that you can show up with me. And I wanted you to stay into the end because I have a special invitation for you. And that is what I call my 30-day mindset challenge. This is brand new. We're going to start it the beginning of the month, which is April 1st, your 30-day challenge to master your mindset. Take control of your mindset. And how will you do it? It's by putting these 4 steps. I'll go back to it. Putting these 4 steps into action. So if you want to learn more, join me on Thursday. I'm hosting a live free masterclass on March 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern. The link is in the description box wherever you're watching this because we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So click on the link, join me on Thursday live in a Zoom meeting where we talk about challenging your beliefs, overcoming your beliefs, and or challenge overcoming your limited beliefs and mastering your mindset. And the 30-day challenge is our first one. It's going to be fun. I use this strategy every single month to change my life, to do the thing I think I cannot do. When I had the terrible cases of the cancer, I use this strategy to challenge my beliefs, push my limitations, and realize that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That there isn't anything that I cannot learn, and there isn't a habit that I cannot break in order to go from being stuck to unstuck and becoming unstoppable. So I hope that this is a blessing to you. If it is, give a thumbs up, like it, and forward it to somebody else who needs to have this information because all of us can go from being stuck to unstoppable or becoming unstoppable. So I'm grateful for this time. Let me take a last sip of my tea, or excuse me, my hot water. Which is now lukewarm, but it's still good. Thanks so much for your time. I look forward to being together again next week, same time, same place. And we'll see what we're talking about because it's always about mastering your 5th decade so that you can thrive in your 50s and beyond. I'm Coach Natalie. So thank you for joining. Be blessed.